Hello everyone, welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you today. This is the Soul Guidance for Your Career Facebook Live. And for those of you who have joined me before, welcome back. I'm so thrilled that you're joining me today. And for those of you, if it's your first time, I'm so grateful that your soul led you here. And whether you're watching live or watching the transmission, I am sending you so many blessings and love. So hey Jill, before continuing, let's go ahead and tune in. It's so important. And of course, I do that before we begin, but it feels really important to do it together. Oh, okay, wait, is everybody still on? Because I got a message that there was poor connection. Jill, can you still see me? If you can answer, that would be lovely before I continue. That never happened before. Okay, I think we're still on. So Jill, if you can post on there, if you can still see me, okay, that would be great. Yes, perfect. Okay, yay. So let's go ahead. It'll help strengthen the transmission here. So go ahead and take some nice cleansing breaths. And as you breathe in and out, just set the intention that you are going to be so present, that you're giving yourself permission to be fully here to receive from your soul. Right? Uninterrupted time just for you and your soul. And feeling the earth underneath you, whether you're sitting or standing or lying down. Imagining, visualizing those beautiful roots of light going down your legs and out the bottoms of your feet, deep into the earth. And letting your roots spread as far and wide as they want to today, knowing your roots are wise. And connecting with each other's roots. So everyone here live, everyone watching the transmission, we're creating this beautiful network of roots underneath the earth to support all of the growth and healing available here today. And breathing in those beautiful energy from the earth up the bottoms of your feet, up your legs, up your spine, the back of your neck, the crown of your head, so that you feel so present. And we bring the palms of our hands over our heart center and just welcoming your beautiful soul. Of course, your soul's always with you, but just opening your awareness to receive from your soul. I welcome everybody's soul here. And I welcome all of your spiritual teachers and guides who love you unconditionally, who are supporting the evolution of your career. And I ask that a beautiful golden light of blessings and protection and abundance and joy and healing and miracles surround this whole transmission, surround all of you, whether you're here live, whether you hear the transmission at a later time. You're all surrounded in this circle. As we bring the palms of our hands together in front of our heart and we bow to each other and we end and begin with a namaste. Namaste, everyone. So today, so exciting. Last time, if you watched the last Facebook Live, and Dana, hey! So I'm so happy to see Dana Butler on. Hello, so good to see you. So last Facebook Live, I talked about going back to basics, right? Going back to that foundational step of asking your soul to guide you every day. So those of you who watched that transmission 2 weeks ago, I'm really curious and hope that you've been trying that prayer every day to ask, okay, soul, guide me every day. And if you didn't see that Facebook Live, you can go to my YouTube channel and watch it. So that, I was saying that when you step into this next level of leadership, whatever that is for you, and it's going to look different for all of you. And I want you to understand that stepping into the next step of leadership is not about doing more work. It's not like, oh gosh, now I'm going to have to work harder and harder and harder and sacrifice myself. That's not what it's about. Are you going to have to work? Of course. But it's really about staying aligned with your soul and taking steps from that place rather than from your fears and ego. And the foundational step for that is you have to ask every day, your beautiful soul, guide me. Guide me. And just that prayer starts to align you, even if at first you don't feel any difference. So today's teaching really goes along with this, that when you're asking your soul to guide you, and if you're here watching this, if you watch the recording, if you're drawn to teachings like this, you absolutely have a longing and a desire to follow your soul. Your soul is like tapping on your shoulder, or maybe like really pushing you, saying, all right, it's time for this next evolution for you. You still have gifts to share with the world. You have so much more to share. And I've said before, all of you who watch this, I know you are already sharing so much light, have already changed so many lives. But our soul is always asking us for more, and to do it in a way that brings you joy and peace and fulfillment. So what happens though when you start to say, really declare, soul, guide me? What happens is that your parts get triggered. What happens is that as much as parts of you might long for that reality, that yes, I'm following my soul, I'm saying yes, there are parts of you, parts of us, that get scared. And that's what today's teaching is about, is because as you say the prayer, soul lead me, soul guide me, there are parts that are going to be like, no, that are going to be really triggered by that prayer. And it really falls into this category of parts that don't trust your soul. Parts that might even doubt, do I have a soul? Is that really true? And I want to say, what I mean by soul is your true essence, right? That part of you that is innocent and pure and wise and loving and is eternally connected to source, whether you call source God or goddess or the divine or the universe. And this part of you is longing to be expressed through you in your life, in your career, in the way you share your gifts. And there are parts of you that might have, because of different wounds you've had in your life, because of different experiences, it's just part of the human experience, that might not trust your soul, that might have this fear, well, if I follow my soul's guidance, what if it leads me to something that will cause suffering? Or what if it causes people that I love to abandon me? Or what if it makes me, lose myself, and then I work too hard and then I'm sick? Or, there's all these different things. And, in my book, Answering Your Inner Calling, the second practice, Naming and Embracing Your Fears, I talk all about our parts and how do we tend to them, how do we befriend them, how do we heal them. In today's transmission, because when I do the Facebook Lives, I really want to give you like a golden nugget that we can use, that you can take and apply in your life, and that through the meditation I'm going to lead, you can experience healing. So today is really about helping those parts of you that are scared to follow your soul, and in particular are addicted to suffering, that have an addiction to suffering, to worrying. And I know the word addiction can be triggering. We tend to think of addictions as like hard addictions to alcohol or drugs or things like that. And it's all the same thing. We also have soft addictions, right? We have addictions to overworking. We have addictions to worrying. We have addictions to, pleasing everyone, right? There's all these. And another word you can use is attachment, right? If addiction feels like, I don't understand that, you can use attachment, that we have parts that are really attached to suffering and worrying. And what I want you to understand is that addictions and attachments, those parts are trying to protect you. So that's something that's really important to understand, because it softens everything, so that you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have these parts that are addicted to suffering, I gotta get rid of them, how do I fix that? No, first of all, to understand, addictions are protections. They're often misguided, but up to a point they have protected us, right? So there's attachments, for example, if we look at worrying, the parts of us that are addicted to worrying, that are attached to worrying, that are afraid of letting go of worrying, if you really tune in, what are the parts afraid of? If you stopped worrying, what are they afraid of? They're afraid that, well, if I don't worry, I'm not going to plan, I'm going to do crazy things, I'm going to, not be responsible. So they're trying to protect you. So this is what's really important to understand. So when you're praying the prayer of soul, beautiful soul, guide me, guide my steps today, right? Guide my decisions, guide my thoughts. As beautiful as that prayer is, and as much of a longing as you have for that, there will be parts of you that come up and are like, I don't know if I can really do that, if I can trust that, right? So it's like you're at the same time opening this door, right? You're like, okay, soul, I'm going to open this door where I step forward and you lead me. And there's parts that are like, nope, close it, or putting the brakes on, right? Because they're scared. So for today, I want to invite you to add this prayer, or, you know, if the word prayer doesn't resonate, you can say meditation, right? Add this loving kindness time. I know that some of this terminology, depending on your background with religion or spirituality, can be triggering. And I want you to understand that none of this is attached to any particular religion, right? This is about spirituality, about tapping into your soul so that you can share your gifts, because the world so needs all of us to say yes to our soul right now. It's like this beautiful book I'm reading by Buddhist teacher Pema Chodron, you know, No Time to Lose. And she talks about that, like and not to bring in this pressure, like you have to rush and not focus on yourself. No, it's like there's no time to lose, meaning like this is the time to pause, to stop, to say that prayer of soul, lead me, to send healing to those parts of you that might be holding you back from sharing your soul's gifts, because the world needs all of us to be activated leaders that are being led by our soul, whatever that looks like for you. So today's meditation, the prayer that I was going to say to add is, as you're saying, soul, lead me today, lead my steps today, that you're also saying, beautiful soul, send healing to those parts of me that are scared to follow you, those parts of me that don't trust you, those parts of me that are addicted to suffering, that are addicted to worrying, that are attached to that. And we say that prayer without any judgment for ourselves, because we all have that. Everybody does. So it's not something to be ashamed of. It's just to recognize. And I've been saying this, I mean, in a way, my whole lifetimes I've been preparing for this, but really intentionally becoming aware of like, wow, how attached some of my parts are to worrying, for example. That's one addiction I have, worrying. And that question, which I've shared here before with you to ask, and maybe it's not worrying for you, maybe it's a part that's addicted to overdoing, right? Or to saying yes to every opportunity that comes forward, which then makes you so busy that you can't focus on developing your gifts and sharing your medicine. So the question to ask is, what are you afraid will happen? Right? What are you afraid will happen if you stop? So you're having this conversation with yourself, with this part of you, without judgment, without I'm sick of you, can you stop? Understanding that this part's just trying to protect you, saying, what are you afraid will happen if I stop worrying? Or what are you afraid will happen if you stop trying to fix this person's life, or stop trying to rescue people? Because following your soul's guidance to share your gifts with the world is not about rescuing. It's not about drowning in other people's pain. It's not about putting everybody else before you so that you're so depleted and burnt out that you have to literally step away from the world for months or even years because you've done so much. And I only know this because I've done all of those things. So I say this with so much love and compassion for you. So that's the prayer, right? So we started with soul, lead me, and say that meditation throughout your day. And then so send healing to those parts of me that are afraid to follow you, that have these fears, that don't trust you. And for some of you, they may be very clear. So for some of you, you might be hearing this and you might know right away, like, oh my gosh, yeah, I feel that part that is like, nope, you can't trust your soul. It's gonna lead you to do something reckless and on and on. But others of you, and it's interesting, sometimes when you've been on this journey, the spiritual journey explicitly for a long time, it's more subtle, right? Because we know all these spiritual things, we've read all these books, we have our meditation practice, that it's very easy to kind of fool ourselves into thinking, oh, I'm totally open. It's really important to know that this is like, there's no destination. It's an ongoing process. I've shared with you, I'm working on my podcast right now, and oh my gosh, which is going to launch in February, not February, in the fall, in September. So many fears are coming up for me. All this stuff that I thought I was done with, it's like full force coming up. And if you receive my newsletter, my blog today that's going to come out today is all about this. And it's all these voices like, who are you to do this podcast? Who's going to even listen to it? Who's going to even care? There's thousands of podcasts out there. Nobody's going to listen to yours. Why even bother? That's what it all comes down to, right? All, and even with following your soul, you might have parts that are like, your soul is not going to, either it doesn't exist, or your soul doesn't really love you, or you're not worthy enough to receive your soul's guidance. Why even bother meditating every day? Why even bother asking your soul to guide you? For me right now, it's like, why even bother doing this podcast? With the Facebook Lives, it was like, why even bother doing these Facebook Lives? Who's going to watch it? What difference is it going to make? Right? That voice is so toxic. And it always gets louder when you are being called to show up even more fully in your gifts. So that's the one thing, I want you just to normalize that for you. If you've been praying that prayer, even if you don't know that you've been praying that prayer, but your heart has just had that longing of like, soul or higher self or my true essence or heart, lead me. And you're wondering why, when I'm saying this, am I feeling all these fears come up? It's just part of the process. It's normal. Because all those parts of you that want to stay the same, that are scared, and it's normal, are getting louder because your prayer is getting louder. And at some point, and the more you do this, the sooner that happens, you do reach a place of joy. So it's not like it's just painful the whole way, right? You do reach a place of joy, of like, oh, I'm so happy I said yes. Right? So I'm starting to experience that with my podcast. When I finally had the trailer recorded, I did feel that like, oh gosh, but it was like a lot of painful steps before then. All emotions, right? All doubts that were coming up. And I'm sure when the podcast is ready, the trailer is ready to share with the world, so you'll hear it. It's about 2 minutes long. I'm sure other fears are going to come up at that point, but that's okay. So I want to get ready for this meditation and, invite you to listen to, the Facebook Lives are all recorded, right? You can go to my Facebook page and see them, or go to my YouTube channel and see them all there. Sometimes the first time you hear it, you can receive it at a certain level. And then every time you receive it, you hear it again and again, the teachings or the meditation, you can receive it even more deeply. You can have an even clearer understanding because you're healing. So let's get ready for our meditation. And if you've never meditated before, no worries. And if you have a meditation practice already, that's perfect as well. But I want to invite you, wherever you are on your journey, to be in that beginner's mind. Right? To just allow yourself to be open, to be surprised. And that this doesn't need to be perfect. You're not getting a grade. There's no way to mess this up. So wherever you are, let's just take some nice cleansing breaths. And just take a moment to reconnect with the earth, feeling Mother Earth underneath you. So happy. All right, but happy that You are saying yes to sharing your soul's gifts because it helps our Mother Earth. And bringing your hands over to your heart center. In your heart, and actually you can say this out loud as well because we're not hearing you, so you're not interrupting anyone. So even if you want to say it out loud, saying, beautiful soul, I'm open to receiving your guidance. I'm open to receiving your healing through this transmission right now. And if it helps you to close your eyes, close your eyes. And in your heart space, see this beautiful light filling your heart. I'm going to close my eyes as well, and seeing your hearts filled with this beautiful light. Maybe it's a pink light or a golden light. Because when you say yes, when you're explicit, when you say, soul, I'm ready to receive you, your soul can give you so much more. So see your heart filled with this light. It is filling you with your soul's medicine. And now let that medicine fill your whole body. So your whole body moving up your neck, your face, the crown of your head filled with this light, down your shoulders, your hands, your fingers, down to your torso, your hips, your pelvis, your legs, all the way to your toes. You're illuminated from within with your soul's medicine. And in front of you, see that beautiful golden path that we have practiced with for a long time. This is the golden path that represents your soul's path, that represents the highest path that you can take, the path that will share more of your gifts with the world and will bring you so much joy and fulfillment and peace. And you're looking at this golden path and you know that you've been praying, soul, lead me. And you are now welcoming. Ask any parts of you that are scared to walk on this path, that are scared to follow your soul. Let them know, I welcome you. Let me see you. And you might see them as just energy. They might show up as a symbol, a rock, a boulder, foggy energy. Or you might literally see them as parts of you that are looking at this golden path and they're scared. They're like, well, I don't know if I can trust our soul to lead us. So without judgment, welcome them and let them know that you understand that they are trying to protect you. So say, I get it. I know you're trying to protect me. And have them look at you. Have them look at you. Because these parts that are scared, most of the time, are not aware of how big you are, how beautiful you are, how much healing you've already done. So let the parts look at you and your beautiful soul. Let your parts see all of your guardian angels, all of your spiritual teachers. And let them know that you accept them exactly as they are, that you love them, that you understand that they're trying to protect you, and that they are not in charge. Very lovingly say, you're not in charge. Thank you for all you've done. I still want your help and support if you want to help me in a different way, but you are not in charge. And just let the parts respond however they may respond. Some might be relieved. Many parts might be relieved, like, oh, thank goodness. And some parts might be scared or doubtful, and that's okay. And let them know that you are going to now let your soul send them so much healing light. And they are going to receive this as much as they can. So some of them might receive a lot. Some of them might be suspicious and might just be like, well, I'll just take in a little bit. And some might just watch, and that's okay. So I see your beautiful soul just emanate from your heart, this beautiful light that radiates, this beautiful beams of light on all of these parts that are scared to follow your soul. So it's like the sun, just beaming light. But unlike the sun, this light does not burn, it does not hurt. It's this beautiful, gentle, golden light of your true essence. And you don't need to worry about, are these parts receiving it? You just let it flow through you. And let those parts just receive what they can. And notice how those parts that are suspicious, they might notice that the parts that are receiving this light are healing, are shifting, are changing. So just let this beautiful light beam out of your heart to all of the parts of you that are scared of following your soul. And if you are willing in your heart, declare, and you can declare it out loud, I am willing to release any addictions, any attachments I have to suffering, to worrying, to feeling that I'm trapped, that I'm stuck, to doubting myself. So your heart's still beaming this beautiful golden light out to all these parts that are worried about following your soul's guidance. And let them continue receiving this light. Now focus on this golden path. And perhaps see your soul next to you. You're holding your soul's hand. And your soul may look just like you, super radiant, beautiful. Or it might look like a beautiful angel as you step forward on this golden path. And as you're on the path, you still see those parts that are worried, but that's okay. You look at them, you send them love, that's okay. You realize you can still walk on this path, even if parts of you are scared. And also notice all of your angels, your teachers and guides who are cheering you on. Notice the world so happy. Yay, you're on your golden path, you're saying yes. And as we bring the palms of our hands in front of our heart, I invite your soul to give you an empowerment, an activation, so that your prayer, your meditation of soul, guide me today, guide me every day, guide my decisions, lead the way, that is activated, empowered in a deeper way today. It's going to be much easier after today to hear your soul, to follow your soul's guidance, to say yes to your soul. And it's going to be much harder to ignore it. It's going to be less tolerant to ignore your soul. It's just not going to feel good. So thanking your soul, thanking all of these parts that are worried, that shared that they were scared. Thanking all of your parts that are happy, that are like, yes, we're ready. Thank them. Thank all of your angels and your guides. And I thank everyone here, those of you who are here live and those of you who are watching the transmission, sending you so much gratitude. All of us thanking everyone here. So we bow to everyone here, to your soul, to your parts, to your guides, to yourself, and then let everyone feel how they are bowing and honoring you as well. And we close and we end with a beautiful namaste. Namaste. And take your time, take some nice breaths, stretch in a way that feels good. I'm going to burn some sage to close this circle. Hey, Lynn. And if you didn't get to watch the whole transmission, remember this is recorded. You can watch it on the Facebook, on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel. So after the transmissions, right? Again, you can listen to it again, but stay open throughout your day to see all the ways that your soul is going to validate the work we did today, right? That prayer of soul, guide me, guide my decisions. Guide me so that I can share my gifts with the world in a way that not only serves others, but brings me joy and fulfillment. And that prayer of, okay, send healing to those parts of me that are scared of following you. So a couple of things, and I have 2 cards that I want to pull for you, but also I want to say the next, so starting in the fall, lots of cool stuff, and it's kind of like the fall season. I have so much coming in the fall, and I was really had to rethink, okay, how am I going to do these Facebook Lives? So the experiment, the plan for the fall is that I'm going to do 2 Facebook Lives a month because I'm releasing my podcast. So I really have to make space for the podcast so that it's not, thank you, Dana, namaste to you as well. So that it's not just a bunch of stuff that I'm doing all disconnected, right? So there's going to be 2 Facebook Lives a month. And I really like that rhythm for several reasons. One for you is my invitation for you is that use these 2 weeks, so until I see you next time on the Facebook Lives, to integrate the teaching, to practice it, integrate it, be with that process with yourself. See what comes up. It's not a test, but just stay committed and be curious, right? And if you're interested in scheduling a private session with me, I have my fall schedule open through December. So September, October, November, December, I have my calendar open. Several slots already taken. September, I think there's a few slots left. If you're interested in scheduling a breakthrough session, go to my website, lisaespinosa.net. Go to the Start Here page, and you can schedule a session with me. And that's a free session. Could be done on phone or Skype, where we'll talk about how I can support you on this path of following your soul's guidance, and I'll share all the different ways that I can do that. So if you're interested in doing that, don't put it off, because the sessions are filling up fast, so do that now. I also want to say the Reiki for Your Career program, you probably know, I have a special. It's 3 sessions for $333. You can read about it on my website. I have 1 slot left. I thought they were all filled, but one of the people that it didn't work out, so I have 1 slot left. I'll be announcing that on my newsletter. So if you're interested in doing that, tell me, email me. I mean, you can go ahead and sign up already, because I only have 1 slot left. Regularly, it's $444, and I don't have that much time in my schedule for it. It's 3 private sessions with me, all focused on Reiki and helping you through that beautiful tool to clear your energy and really reset you so that you can really share your soul's gifts. You can read about it on my website. But yeah, 1 slot left. So if you're interested, those are private sessions with me. Do that. And what else can I tell you? Oh, the Answering Your Inner Calling training that is happening on September 8th. I have notes here. The reason I want to tell you now is there is a special. It's $49 if you register by August 23rd. So that's coming up. After that, it's $70. It's at Relax for Life in Bolingbrook. It's so cool. I'm so excited about that. It's just really a training of teaching you, how do I stay aligned with my soul's guidance. I will be going over the teachings in my book. There are CEUs available for lots of different professions. So you can go to the Relax for Life website and see the workshops there and sign up for that. I would love to see you there. And so many other things coming up. Sunday, I have the virtual Reiki for $13 that you can do from the comfort of your home. The best thing is sign up for my newsletter, because that's how I share all these things. All right, so let's do the cards. So today I have Keepers of the Light, and I love the Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray Oracle deck. And the thing with Oracle decks, you know, they're not like they're telling your future, right? It's another way for your soul to speak to you. And it's another way for these beautiful beings of love and light that love you unconditionally, that are supporting your path, to speak to you. That's why Oracle cards are so wonderful, right? So my question is, what Keeper of the Light is helping you these next 2 weeks, helping you to stay aligned with your soul, helping you to heal, to share your gifts? So let's see what Keeper of the Light is with you. Right? This is one of my favorite ones. I know I say this all the time, but really, Mary Magdalene, look at this and hear this message. Teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. Mary Magdalene, I mean, she is like awesome. Look at her. So it doesn't necessarily need to mean that you call yourself a teacher, but it's like, but you might, right? It's like this teacher is awakening inside of you. You have something important to share. Don't let anything stop you. And Mary Magdalene, gosh, does she know about being stopped, right? About forces trying to stop you or get you off your path. So call on Mary Magdalene, especially when you're feeling doubt, when you're feeling that question, that sentence, why bother? Why bother doing this? It's not going to work. Call on her to be your friend, your mentor, your guide. All right, so I love this. Look at her. Beautiful Mary Magdalene. And I was guided to pick from the fairy deck as well. What is their message for these next 2 weeks for you? So exciting. Look at this. New home. Moving is a step in the right direction for you. So I want you to pay attention to this, because it will mean different things for some of you, for all of you. Some of you might literally mean you're considering moving homes, and this is saying, yes, it's time, do that. But it's so much more, right? So it could be sharing your gifts in a different venue, right? That it's like, okay, you're meant to share your gifts in a different yoga studio or in a different space. Basically, it's saying, yes, it is time for something new. Moving in that direction is the right thing for you. So if right now you're like, I don't know what that's talking about, just stay awake these next 2 weeks. You know, something will come up and you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's what that card meant, right? It's like moving. So I love that. Moving is a step in the right direction for you. And I'm also hearing moving, like move your body as well. Like move your body, like use movement to connect with your soul and to let your soul teach you and guide you. All right, my dears, so you've got Mary Magdalene, Teacher Awakens, and New Home. That the other thing I'm hearing about New Home is like a new group of people. You know, like a new group of people that are coming into your life to be your support system, to be your family, to be your cheerleaders as you step into this next level of leadership. All right, I love all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Share these Facebook Lives with others, and I will see you in 2 weeks. I'm going to send my newsletter out right now with my newest blog, and I really think it'll be helpful for you. It's, what is it called? Can't remember what it's called. I'm terrible with remembering. Oh, it's something like that thing you're putting off creating is where your treasure lies. So whatever you've been putting off, that's where the treasure is. All right. Love you. Blessings. Namaste, everyone.